Good morning. Hey, Matt, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, good morning. Welcome to Mid-Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swan Medium. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, Debbie. Hopefully well rested and turkey coma is almost over for you. Good morning, Dana. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be really the theme is, what's up, Jeff? Hopefully everybody is doing well and uh, you know, depending on how much weight we all gained, hopefully, you've already begun your workouts and I'm sure after the show, because I know you wanted to be here first, that you were going to be going out and, start running all that extra, So, hey, Frankie. Hey, Donna. Hey, Sharon. Good morning. Uh, hey, Shannon. Coffee. Shannon for you. So yes, so hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I we I have a twofer, which is kind of it'll happen the same thing. Obviously in a few more weeks, 3 weeks or so for Christmas and things. But yeah, I mean we try to separate everything. We don't want to overdo it. So much in one day. Nothing. You know we used to do that, and then we just thought, just make it easier, and everybody was, on both sides of the family is accommodating. So we separate things. So we do, we did Thursday, and then yesterday I had my other side of the family that we were doing Thanksgiving. So it was cool. It's I guess I should say, the one good thing about it is that we didn't have turkey yesterday, so it was, I'm not completely overloaded in turkey. However, there was so much leftover turkey on Thursday on my side of the family that we have so much turkey that we brought home. Um, so starting today, good morning, Jennifer. So starting today, there will be lots of turkey filled meals, turkey sandwiches, and yeah, it'll be great. So I will definitely get my fill of turkey over the next few days, trying to burn through some of that. So, but again, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and here we are. Now we're in the final stretch to finishing out the year, getting to Christmas and New Year's, and then on top of all that, I got made aware once again. There's all kinds of crazy solar activity this weekend, so there's obviously some possibilities of symptoms going on for everybody. um you know I, I told it was my friend Carmen that wrote me last night, because I was telling her I wasn't, I'm still not sleeping great. I'm still getting up in the middle of the night, and I I was just kind of blown away, because she goes, well, this is one of the symptoms they're saying because of some of the solar flare. I'm like, oh, come on. Just let me have a day off, please. And I think we're all the same way. We all just wanted to have, hey, good morning, Margaret. Um, Debbie says, I put the 20. I saw you wrote that on your page. I was like, crazy. How big's your crack pond? 23 pounds. Would you cut it all up? Because I'm going to say you ain't going to put a 23 whole bird in there. But, um, but yeah, so I mean, yeah, so it was cool. Like I said, who knows? I mean, I don't know if everybody is leftover, fans or not. I mean, I've always been a believer in it, because, it's, oh, geez. You might have to send me a photo of that, Debbie, because I'm kind of curious. um, but I, I've always, it's just kind of one of those things. I think because of the, you know, trying to save some money and things like that. So, you create leftovers and things. And obviously, hey, Tammy, good morning. And I think what's interesting is to be able to, uh, especially now. I mean, granted, the show doesn't go down any, crazy road, but even just in general, obviously, I think we've all noticed that, some items are a little bit more, and say, I'm going to be careful on my word, because that's not where I'm going, but you could read me, I'm sure. Good morning, Chris. And, you know, Nowadays, it seems like, yeah, if we got some leftovers, there's no doubt about it. We're going to be jumping on that because it helps save me a few bucks in another area. Okay. Hey, Tanya. Um, Frankie, my husband wanted me to get tested, said I'm good only purging. Thinks I'm great. Yep. Yeah, it's whew, I believe it. Man. And as see, Jen was saying, tonight is the energies will hit the earth, but it should be mild. Yeah. See. Man, I'm telling you, that's not it's gotta stop. I gotta laugh about it. I mean, as much as you really want to dwell in a negative spot, like because that goes on with things that I've talked about in the past and things that even I'm going through. You you just when am I going to catch a break? I mean, I think a lot of us we all have been through it, so it's nothing new to each and every single one of you. But we just we just can't get over the fact that it's like I just need a vacation, and even then I'm on vacation and I don't feel like I'm getting, really, enjoying it. I mean, there's just so much other things that have been going on, and it just kind of par for the course. And so you just try to make the best out of it. At least I try to. Couple people might, that message me might get a little bit more behind the scenes detail, and I'm not saying who they are, but might might hear me voice a little bit more, but still, this is truly, the whole thing. I'm still going to make the best out of everything. I might, everybody needs to vent a little bit. And so I certainly do that to a couple of key people. And so, um, you know, not dumping anything on them. It's just, for me to voice a little extra, but yet at the same time, not, uh, you know, overdo it to where it's like, man, that's all he does. Shut the hell up. So let's see. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, Debbie, and that's just kind of been the keys. I haven't slept through the night. I mean, ever since I've been on vacation, I mean, it's the same thing. I've been waking up various times throughout the night. Hey, Dinah, and it's just for whatever reason, and I can't remember what this 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 morning. I'll say this morning because it was well past midnight, but I don't know what I forget what it was. Why I woke up, but man, yeah, it just kind of bums me out because I wake up and I keep thinking, there goes an angel feather. Angel feather just went right by me, went over my shoulder, and see, that's really cool. Oh, I can feel that. My shoulder feels really intense right now. Sorry if I pause for a second. Um, I always try to like enjoy that moment when something does happen. You see me, sometimes I try to grab them so I can show you guys, but woo, my shoulder feels really it's real tingly. And I didn't even notice it because as soon as I saw the feather, I already noticed that, and then that's when I was mentioning it. But wow, that was kind of cool. Ooh, I like that. See, that's what's this. See, that's probably a little bit of something we'll talk about. I really didn't have a lot of discussion or a lot of topics to bring up, but again, I wanted to make sure everybody had a a good Thanksgiving. Whether you were home alone, or you were out with family or friends and things like that. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, yeah, Jennifer Angel Dingles. I like that one. I'm gonna put that up there real quick. um, well, Tammy, it's interesting. Excuse me. Uh, sorry. Let me get a sip real quick. Yeah, well, and that's well, let's just go there. We'll just you know, for anybody that's watched the show long enough, you've seen me actually have these moments, live on the show, or if you're watching it back, you've seen it, later on. But several times. I mean, for several years. Let's just really go there. Lots and lots of angels have definitely made their appearance, and to me, geez, I got to get the frog in my throat out. But oh, Frankie, well, I'm glad it's the first time. So there you go. You get a little something special, even though you guys probably didn't see it like I did, because it was the so angel feathers to me, for those that either don't remember or if you're like Frankie a first time, the they aren't like gigantic things, for me. They are very small and they're very thin. They're like fragments of the feathers, and it's really awesome when they show up. And if you were to go back to my Black Swamp Medium page and you would scroll back, I don't know when the last time I posted anything, but if you scrolled way back through my timeline, you'll see me holding them. I mean, and you'll see how small they are because my, you know, guy fingers, you can't mistake it. But that's just how they are. They don't want to make, to me, and now other people have had a fantastic, good size feathers, or they're walking out of a room and then there's this feather that's laying in the middle of the floor that should not be there. It's not something they have or own. So it's really special. And I look at it that when you get a message like that now, and keep in mind, everybody, don't treat angels like it's got to be, some type of hardcore religious aspect. And again, I don't go there. I'm completely have no problem with whatever faith belief systems that you are into. I mean, I applaud it, whether it, or if it's not nothing, I still applaud that, are you. And that's the most important thing. You do what makes you feel great. And if there's a certain religion or a belief system that you're into, that's awesome. I've never, downplayed anybody's thing. And so, but like I said, with the angels, I don't look at it as a hardcore religious thing. Some people call it, like I still have spirit guides. I still have, I just call my spiritual friends that are always looking over me. And like Tammy was saying, someone's watching over you. I mean, I really do have an entourage that's behind me quite a bit, and they find ways to make themselves known. And I love it that they've occasionally done that on the show, and I have been able to capture them and show them to you guys. And even then, I don't know if it was the last week or the week before, I caught it because I was like, you guys saw me like fumbling in the air. I've caught it. And when I've caught it and I tried to find it, it was completely disappeared. And then, that's just gets even more magical and amazing as and I've done that the last couple times I've tried to grab them, I've got it, it disappears in my hand and I can't find it no matter how much check everything, it's nowhere. It didn't float away. It literally just dissolves. And that's yeah, yeah, Chris, exactly. It does have sort of like a goose down, small appearance, very soft. Absolutely. I mean, they're fragile, and hello, Nicole. Sorry, I didn't say hello earlier. But yeah, I mean, it's just so cool. And like I said, you don't have to truly, you don't have to be this and that, to believe in angels. They're just as much of a guiding force for us all, and I'm open to everything. And I'm not saying, I'm not going to sit there and say you have to, but I obviously at least have an open mind on things, don't ever downplay. And I think most of you that are watching know that, we obviously there's lots of things going on out in the world. And, we've lost touch with a lot of things that were just, hey, let's just, applaud this person. I mean, if they're having, you know, unusual things with angels showing up, that's awesome, man. I mean, congratulations to them, that sort of thing. That's the way we should be. Um, we shouldn't make fun of them. We shouldn't, well, that's just not true. And it's like, but if it's happening to them, even if the seeing the feathers isn't the physical sign of things, maybe they just feel it. Maybe they feel like they have that kind of embrace, like somebody's kind of hugging them from behind. It's not paranormal, even though I love paranormal stuff, but it's not necessarily paranormal, and I think that's what's hard on a lot of people. And I can say that for me, being a paranormal investigator, using my mediumship for multiple areas in the, out of all the passions that I do, you could certainly easily, forget that, one isn't, in a, scary location or haunted location versus like here at home. There's nothing scary here. There's nothing haunting here. I prevent all that from happening, but yet I still have moments where my guides or the angels or others make themselves a little bit of a reminder or, hey, share this. And even then, like I didn't have a lot of topics. And then just now, like what have we done now for about almost 10 minutes? We're talking about, the signs and something I have talked about before, but it's so cool. And to still tell you, my arm is still really tingly, like from the top of my shoulder down towards my elbow. I just kind of got this like buzzing feeling, much like what Jen said earlier, this angel tingles thing. And it's really neat. It's a good feeling. And see, and that's the thing. It's positive. There's nothing negative. I don't feel, scared or upset, and even if I wouldn't have seen the feather, I'd still, even if it was just the sensations, I still can feel that it's nothing that I would be concerned of. It's like, oh my gosh, there's some love around, you know what I mean? And that's what's fun. And like I said, you guys can all experience these things. It's a part of setting intentions. We've talked about that a million times, over the last year. And even if we talk in private or we've seen each other in face to face, I mean, intentions are everything, and don't always expect something to happen instantly. It can, but it doesn't necessarily mean. So like if you guys want signs from angels, let's just say, don't expect it to happen in an hour. you know that's just not how it works on that side. It's true. I mean, I laugh about it because I've seen people get frustrated. They're just like, I want this. They want this to happen. It's like, right. That's great. I'm glad that you do, but how much work are you putting into it? Are you every day thanking them for being there, even though you don't see them, feel them yet? Are you still giving them the praise? Are you still asking them when they feel it is the right time to show themselves to appear? And again, there's so many different ways that you can go about it, but setting that positive intention on anything in life, not just having some messages from angels come through, but to anything. I mean, you could sit there and if you really want this job or you really want to take this thing, you just set that positive intention for it. Let's see, Jen, warm and tingly, not cold and prickly. we, well, we're getting, we should, we'll have to come up with like a lyrics or something like that. And then Margaret saying, I had a feather appear and saw the light figure not too long ago. That's awesome. I love that. Jen's no expectation as to when and how the message comes to. Exactly. Yes, you don't, that's the whole thing. You can set the intention, but don't expect it to happen right away. I mean, I've set some intentions out, and last weekend, one of them I set out, I don't know, maybe a week or two prior. And it wasn't like a major intention. It was just something small, but it was just something I just wanted, you know, I wanted to happen. When it was going to happen, I didn't care. I just wanted to throw it out there. So when it did, boom, it was sure enough, it ended up showing up on an unexpected time. I wasn't ready for it, but at the same time, I kind of stopped other things because here it is. I put it out there and then I embraced that moment. So that's the other thing is if you put that intention out there, make sure that when you do receive it in however way it does appear to you, make sure uh you go, give thanks for it. That's the big first thing, acknowledge it, be grateful for it, because obviously, if you're not thankful, you're grateful and all those wonderful terms, there's not it's going to take a little while for something to happen again. So everything I do, I'm grateful for everything. I mean, I'm grateful for all of you that are watching, or if you're watching this later on, or that's just a given. You know what I mean? I appreciate everybody's time to be up this early and to hang out with me and share some wonderful, awesome comments. And it's just a thing that we do. And so, Nicole saying, she thanks him every day. Absolutely. That, I said, it doesn't take much to just say a quick little, prayer. Again, it doesn't have to be religious. It's just a prayer. It's just something we can just put some stuff together, keep it all positive, and thank everything, for what you have. And Jen, negative entities tend to feel the cold and prickly. Yeah. Yeah. And then Frankie's asking a question. Is there a difference between cold and warm energies around you? Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably what Jen was referring to about negative entities to feel cold. Yeah, I mean, you certainly can, obviously with the paranormal stuff, you know, I have had, you know, you know, cold is, it happens a lot, and basically the theory behind it is that spirits, entities, they're pulling that energy because we know that we're surrounded by actual energy. You know what I mean? And there, wait, is that dust? Oh, that's a dust one. Woo, that was close. Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Hold on. I got to look in the light. Nope, that is one. Woo. See, there you go. A big one just kind of, well, big. I don't know if it's going to be in focus, guys. I don't know. I'm going to try. Well, you can kind of see the fuzzy edge there. I'm trying to get in a dark spot of the clouds. I know you can kind of see that little fuzzy tip. Where do I have here? I can't get it. There we go. Let me get it with my chair. See, that's how small they are. And see, obviously, we're having a great conversation with them, and there they are. Normally, I don't get. Oh, here we go. Here's a perfect one. I got it set up a little bit more. There, you can see it on my face. Trying to use my skin. Yeah, and that was not I should go near the microphone. That's not the same one that was earlier. The one earlier was even smaller than this. So, see, and that's the other thing is now they're giving confirmation as to what I've been saying to you all. Okay, this is exactly how this works, and thank you. Key, as I've already said, you have to give thanks and for them to confirm with us. Again, doesn't have to be always in words. It can be something like this, which I know I have to. Oh, I just blew it away. Oh no. Whoa, okay. Hold on. Okay. Sorry for being silent. I know this is I need to be vocal. Usually I'm quiet like when I'm doing like investigation type of stuff because I have to sit there and use some brain power. But yeah. Um okay. Earlier I said that one just wait. Oh, there he is. Whew. Okay, good. Wow, where did you go? Okay. I thought it disappeared like completely because I couldn't find it. And it just went off that way off camera. So okay. All right. So, okay. Back on track. Thank you all. Thank you all. Oh my gosh. Okay. See, it's really easy for me to get distracted in that sense because when you again, that's what I'm so used to being aware of when these messages pop up like that you just jump on it. So real quick, let me back up. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Um yeah, Shannon, real quick. I'll get caught up here. And you're free. So I think it more happens when you're free, reduce less in the human side of fear, resistance, ego, expectation. Absolutely. Shannon, that's a wonderful way to put that. Yeah, you can't have expectations. You can't have, demands. There's a big difference between intentions and demands. Demands is a whole nother, mind thought that just like, you can't go there. I mean, you have to, again, like I said earlier, you have to have an open mind about things and know that when things are going to happen they will happen at the right given time. Okay, so that's I love the way you put that, Shannon. And then let's see, everybody's going through. Okay, Margaret, I see you said you have one. Yeah, see, Frankie, that's exactly it. That's what I love. See, that's why I say when this stuff can happen live in front of you guys, or again, if some of you are watching this back later on, oh my gosh, that is so amazing when it gets to do that. But obviously, see, and that's the thing is, even without me sitting there asking them and kind of doing some communications and things, you know, there's a good point to all that. One, they're just saying, "Hey, I'm there," and two, we talk about it because it made for a great uh conversation with you all. Hey, Dad, and for that then to happen and then us to continue with it, it's affirmations that we needed to talk about this. This was something that needed to be done. Whether y'all learned something, whether you just got to see some physical evidence of it, but just to know that it exists. And so there's definitely people that have had experiences, but at the same time, there's people that are probably brand new, like Frankie's brand new, and um, to have those moments to know that there is things that you can experience, and so it's a good thing to have these things happen. So I definitely thank them for their presence and showing, themselves like that to you. So it gives everybody, not the wow factor like most people are saying, but but it's very cool. It's very humbling to have those moments. And like I said, they don't even, even your guides and stuff, it doesn't have to be something extravagant, you know, moment. It's not just an explosion of fireworks that is going to happen in front of you. You know what I mean? It's it's always small because they'll make it big if it really truly matters. I mean, and it does. Like I said, others have seen larger feathers, out of nowhere laying in the middle of the floor. But at the same time, like for me, they know they don't have to make it big because I'm very aware, or at least, good majority of the time. But I'm usually pretty aware, and like that, it doesn't take long for me to see it and know it. And I didn't even feel it instantly. It was almost at the same time. So that just gives a lot of some more hope, more enthusiasm, as to what you can eventually do. And even then, you don't have to be a medium. You don't have to go down that route. If that doesn't call for you, that's okay. Just opening up your empathic side, noticing the energies around you, which we all do. It's just taking it a little bit further. And then, like I said, using your guides, your angels to help you out with common things in life. I mean, you feel better about things, even if they're stressful. They'll work to help you through it. And so it's just one of those things you just have to be open to, and then just submerge yourself into it. Jen, your angels of spirit entourage want to guide you and support you because of the law of free will. They can't unless you ask. So start a dialogue, build a friendship. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And that's what I said. Just start off even in the beginning. If you don't actually see physical evidence, physical signs of them, don't think that they're not around. They're really kind of just sitting there looking over the fence at you, just saying, all you got to do is just start talking. Start talking to them. You're not going to seem weird. You can talk within your mind. You do not have to communicate by vocally saying it. So, use your mind. I mean, there's so many times when I do paranormal investigations and I'm using the mediumship, I don't always vocalize everything. There's sometimes where I have conversations that I don't share with everybody that's around me. It's not sometimes it's just the personal nature of the conversation. I don't feel that it needs to be completely shared with others, and it's just a one-on-one situation. So, hey, Chris, how you doing? So, they're yeah, let's see. Nicole's talking about excited to find him, and then that's awesome. Let's see, Frankie. It's cold around you, negative entities. I've had both around me, and trust my intuition and threatening. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. That's the thing is, as much as I've been on both sides of the spectrum when it comes to, you know, your guides, angels, whatever else you believe in, and then you're on the paranormal side of things, where you still have good stuff there, and it's not all bad, because even then, a haunted location doesn't necessarily mean that there's bad stuff all the time. Haunted location actually can still be a positive wording. Hey, Rob, because again, you sometimes it's just spirits that lived in that house or location, and they just don't feel like they're ready to leave and move on. There's family members there, so they're watching out. So it's not like they're doing anything bad. Sure, they make themselves known in certain ways, and it might scare people because we're not used to that, but it still doesn't make them a bad. So, can you feel cold even when they're good? Sure, sure. It doesn't always, for me, it's not always, I have had in recent years, you have noticed where it's a cold location, like true cold, like it's cold outside. you know, basements are notorious for being cold anyway because they're, underground. Been in cold basements, and yet why is there heat? Why is there warm spots? Because it's the same thing. So for me, it's not always necessarily a bad thing. What happens is your empathic side comes through, and you just sense it. You can kind of feel something's not right. So then when you feel a cold spot, it's like, well, that could be tying into it all. So that's the investigation side of it. You're building it up to really get to the bottom of what's going on, even before you say, like me, you kind of like open up the mediumship, door, and you start having a conversation with them to find out what their intentions are. So, um, so I don't look at, the whether it's cold or hot as a bad thing yet. I go from what the empathic side is saying, and then, move forward from there. And by the way, I'm looking at the clock, and just, for all the number people, I'm just going to put that in the chat right there. So, in case everybody's watching right now, my lovely friend Jen will be smiling when she sees that. Jen and I almost all day long go back and forth with numbers. So, so uh, let's see, Margaret. Oh, let's see. I back up a little bit. Yeah, Jen was saying you can even write letters or notes to them. That's a wonderful suggestion. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, even if you don't know how to voice your opinion, just write it down. I love that. And even then, some people will do that where they will write it out and then they'll burn it, and then basically, the ashes and things go up into the air. So it's another kind of metaphor of it. I can't even think of the right term. I was going to come up with a fancy wording of it, but it is transmuting. Is that a good one, Jen? Can I say that? Can I transmute a burned message, to my guides? um, let's see. Yeah, okay, Margaret. Yeah, Jerry does that. Yep, yep, yep. Let's see. Oh, Margaret's got snow. I know I got to get outside before the snow hits here because I'm going to do a final rake of the leaves. Jen, there's a frequency difference between angels and divine beings, human souls, and their variation or various frequencies, and are the ways in which they use energies to manifest and negative entities. You can feel that. Yeah, absolutely. 1000%. Oh, man. That damn stove clock, Jen. I know she's laughing now. Oh, you're welcome, Frankie. Oh, my gosh, Debbie. That's a good one, Deb. That's a really good one. You got me on that one. You know, Ironically, hey, Lindsay, good morning. Transmit. Thank you, Jen. Uh, Debbie, what's interesting about that, yesterday, I get a message from a friend of mine that's local. He's got his own team. And I didn't ask to use his name or anything. I didn't even know I was going to bring it up. But he sent me a photo from a friend of his that sent him a photo that they were doing some investigating, and he took obviously, your investigators, you take photos all over the place. Well, there's this photo. It's kind of out in another room, but it's kind of shooting inside of a bathroom, so you can kind of see the tub, the shower curtain, and you can just see the front edge of the toilet bowl. Well, paranormal investigators know that you need to take at least 3 photos before you move. You take one, wait a second or two, take another, wait a few seconds, take another one. Okay, then move, because you always want to compare them all. So like I said, at least 3. Well, on one of the photos, there was something ironically sitting on the pot. I kid you not. When he sent it to me, I was like, and I mean, I used some other choice words, but I was just like, it looks like that spirit's taking a dump. I kid you not. It was classically sitting there. And it was in shadow form, so it wasn't crystal clear as a true apparition or entity, but it was more shadow like. But you can clearly see, the bent 90-degree knees. It almost looked like he was kind of leaning over a little bit. So it was pretty interesting. I mean, I mean, instantly you could tell that was definitely something sitting there. And I'm like, well, I guess we now know that spirits on the other side do have to go to the bathroom. So I think that ties in, Debbie, with your comment of, possibly feeling a warm spot when, it's cold. Maybe they are, maybe they're doing their business. You never know. Be kind of weird for them to do it right in front of you. You'd think they'd go, find a tree or, go use the bathroom or something. But, we don't know. We've never really, nobody, I don't think everybody's really studied this phenomenon of, do they need to, use the restroom? There's been jokes about, like, passing gas and things like that. That's always been kind of a fun one that we've tried to see if we can get something out of it, but hey, it's all good. So, but yeah, so I mean, but anyway, yeah, exactly, Dad. They say, hey, I'm using this, find another. They might have. I mean, you just don't. I mean, it's one thing to see, again, for those that haven't really done paranormal, you can get, in a bathroom. One thing that can happen is uh, some people have seen images within the mirrors, and of course, it's not themselves, but they can see others, like, in the mirror, like, so you got yourself, like me, or you see, like, in these corners, you would see like another person standing behind you, and that's a classic thing. And there, for those that don't know it, there's a technique that you can do communications through called scrying. Now, typically you don't face, like, for me, I wouldn't be facing the camera. I'd be off to the side, giving the mirror to have a little bit more space. And the theory is the spirits kind of use the mirror to kind of to come through and communicate, to where you can see them just like you are seeing yourself, within a mirror. I've done some scrying. It's never been a go-to thing of mine, but uh it is kind of fascinating, when you do get some information. And the other thing is, mirrors, and then you can also use water. Some people do scrying through water, and so you can have just a bowl of water and now, as much as I'm telling you about this, I do not recommend you guys just go out and do this. Don't go to your mirrors after the show and, hey, Rodney, please don't go to your mirrors and start asking questions. Don't do that yet. Uh, Unless you're a well-seasoned investigator and have worked with somebody side by side doing that, please don't go doing that. Don't go trying things, because I'm telling you stuff, but I'm not like TV shows where you're going to go emulate it as soon as you can. That's not how it works. You need to have somebody that's done it before that can walk you through it, because of, oh my gosh, I will mention that. You just don't want to do it if you've never been with somebody doing it. Truly, like I said, it's one thing to be an investigator, go into a room, ask the questions. Hey, can you, knock on something? Can you tell me your name? Speak into this recorder or touch this EMF device, things like that. But trying other forms of communication other than those classic, pieces, you just don't. Because a lot of people that don't realize there's proper ways to opening and closing things, like most people, and I'm sure a few people will be glad to jump in here and say, oh my God, don't do that. Hey, Mama D. And to, most people, a lot of people, it's funny, you see it kind of right in the middle, at least I do. People hate Ouija boards, and it's funny. It's no different than a lot of the other things. Even just you going in a room and communicating is the same thing. You're just getting a physical board that you're trying to have them come through. So, learning how to use the boards correctly, or any style of communication device, is key. I've been trained in the Ouija boards. I've done Ouija board sessions, and because of how you properly open it and close it, and the intentions I put within the session, you just don't, you prevent horrible things from happening. So that's why I always say, it, yeah. So, uh, let's see. Sorry, I'm backing up a little bit. Excuse me. Jen was talking real quickly. For me, a cold spot that human spirits can create feels differently than the cold and prickly, icky feelings negative energy creates. It's hard to explain. Yeah, it is. It is hard. It is very hard. Chris put a great point out there. Fireplace or bonfires. Yeah, looking within the flames can easily, well, I shouldn't say easily. Those that have done communicating, it can be easy for them. But there's so many amazing things you can do with fire, um, for positive for positive ways. And yeah, looking within the flames, I mean, you can see images, spirits will use the flames because obviously a flame's not going to burn them, but you can see images of spirits. It could be whole bodies, it could be faces. I've seen plenty of them, I've experienced them. There's other things you can do to have fun with fire and things, again, in positive ways. I'm not going to dive into those, but it's super super cool. Oh, and like Jen was saying, her dad used cigarette smoke. Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Tanya, according to my summons, I'm a possession of haunted mirror. I mean, does it feel like the mirror's haunted? I will ask that and let Tanya respond. Because even then, you know, if it feels like it's really haunted, I mean, do you touch it? Do you feel burning? Do you feel tingling? Do you just feel, negative when you're around it, because it does it, bring you down? Let's see. Frankie, any advice on how to protect yourself from psychic attacks? This happened to me for the first time and caught me off guard, as I'm usually super protected. I was inquiring about a person wanting a reading from me after and said that I get surrounded by cold air. Later, I felt since I was inquiring, retaliation was coming. Of course, I canceled our appointment and blocked that energy. How do you, well, yeah, that's a long one to dive into. Um, Frankie, hit me up privately because it's a little bit more in depth to really dive into. I mean, like we'd be talking for at least another half an hour or so. Um, Main thing is, I mean, however if you are doing any types of protection now, you sort of just have to amplify it, or you have to build upon that protection. So, uh, different, we again, sort of like in the beginning of the show, we all have different belief systems. We believe in different things. We have certain ways that certain religions have protection and things. So, however it is for you, you just have to almost double it. Um, I've done things because I have been in the same boat where I've been attacked that way. You get people that are jealous, and they don't want you to continue to succeed because obviously you're getting more attention, and so they're coming after you for that aspect. And it's not helping their cause out, because even if you attack me and I shut down for a little bit, doesn't necessarily mean they're all going to flock to you, because if they don't feel comfortable being around you, then you're not really going to get the business to begin with. So, you know, uh, but I've tried some different things because I have more of a, well, not more of, but because I really have a shamanic style background. So some of the protection that I learned in the classes, what I did was add on to them. And I've tried a couple things, and again, that's usually my bad word, but at the time it was a try because I wasn't sure how it would work. In theory, in my head, knowing what I knew up to that point, was this makes sense. And so I put it together and did it. And again, I'm not saying the reason why I'm not saying it clearly is because I don't, it's still, well, I shouldn't even say it. It's not so much a testing phase because it did work for me. But it's, I guess I'd have to figure out how to adapt it to people that don't have the shamanic style up, I shouldn't say upbringing, but the training that I've had. So, to implement it on something that you already have, there's a whole process to it, which is why I said it could take a long time, because I would take you down the shamanic style, because there's other things you have to do first that I believe, in addition to then what I added onto it, to get to where I am, to where I feel like I'm better prepared for these people that are going to try this in the future, or different people that I've never even met yet. You're always going to have haters out there. You're always going to have trolls. Last week, most of you saw that I had to bring the show down. Well, the show ran, but then afterwards I found that somebody was claiming copyright content, and there was nothing, because it was in the beginning of the show. It was the, my little coffee cup logo they claimed was something there, which wasn't. And then the 30-second countdown, which is StreamYard, which is the platform I use, it's their um, material, their music, their logo, their countdown from 30 seconds. And so you're going to have this garbage. So stuff like that, I can't, block instantly, but it's just one of those things you have to be ready for it all the time. So, uh, but we can talk a little bit more, Frankie, and kind of see where you're at and give me a little bit more of your background or, what things you do. And then I can easily look at what you are doing. And then we can jump on top of that and then maybe increase it a little bit more. Let's see. No, Frankie, that's the point. This morning show, since it was your first time being here, the point of my morning show, it's I have topics to discuss, but I'm also very open to having others ask whatever because the idea is we all wake up in the morning sometimes and we have questions that maybe we dreamt about or we thought about and we just want to share it. So the idea is this is kind of we're sitting around the breakfast table, kind of just passing around things and just seeing what goes on. Yes, I'm the only one with the microphone, but it's the whole cool thing about it is we can just sit there and throw things out there. And I don't mind stopping unless it's like I'm like right in the middle or close to the end of a story, then I will do that. And but I always like to try to circle back. And if I forget, I always, I do apologize. And then, like I said, always hit me up later if I never asked or answered anybody's questions. And then see, Mama D was talking about beautiful. She was talking. Oh, she got one from Jason. Yep. Yeah, Jason. Jason makes some really cool Ouija boards. But but like any tool, do not play. Yeah. um, Tanya, I see what you're saying. Okay, I gotcha. All right, you feel pretty good around your mirror and stuff. Okay, gotcha, Frankie. Sorry, I'm just kind of going quickly. Hey, Bonnie. Good morning. Um, let's see. Jen's pushing for me to share some. Are you talking about the protection, Jen? Sorry, that's why I'm catching up on the chat. Okay, cool, Frankie. Sorry, so like I said, I'm checking in. Yeah, well, Debbie. Okay, so last week nobody saw it until after the show ended. When the show ended, and just to catch people that didn't see what happened, when the show ended, I saw a weird message, kind of like a warning message, and it wasn't in violation technically, but the person who is not even in North America, in a completely different country, go figure, was put specific time spots of what I was supposedly using of his. And when I went back to rewatch the show, because I have it offline, when I went back to, I'm like, okay, that's my coffee cup, logo that I put up before I put the 30-second countdown, which then he said the 30-second thing, which is StreamYard's own, countdown is theirs. So I knew none of that was anything to do with him. And sure enough, I went to his page just to scope it out. Yeah, there wasn't anything of that. My coffee cup little logo with the horrible artwork, just putting my name, mid-morning medium chat. And then the 30 thing, I'm like, okay, so yeah, he was doing it to try to boost himself because he found a loophole that you can claim something and yet it's still on your show. But I thought the best way is to take my show down instead of waiting, you know, and it was just easier for me to pull it and then re-upload it, which I can only get it to YouTube and then pass the link back over. So sucked that I lost all that, all your comments. I lost, all the data for that, because it's kind of cool to see how things are working out and things. But it is what it is, and hopefully it doesn't happen again today. So hopefully when the show ends and I go to my Facebook Medium page and I see there's another warning, I'm gonna beat this guy up. Not literally, but it's going to be ridiculous because there's nothing. It's nothing. And I didn't want to wait a week or two for, them to, because the guy has to then rewatch the show to confirm that I took something of his, which is like, how does the coffee cup with my name on it and a 30-second count that's StreamYard's, his at all. So anyway, we're beyond that because I've moved way beyond that thing. And so it's finally cool. Let's see, about 10 minutes left. Yeah, I know, Margaret, you're afraid of the boards. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and Jen was asking, I was referring for your clearing and protection process, but you explained why you're, oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, like I said, much like I didn't, it's hard to like, it's really easy. I mean, I could easily tell people it, but at the same time, I don't want you to see again, it kind of goes with like, I don't want you guys going up to mirrors and starting to try to communicate through the mirrors. I don't want to I want you guys to be informed of it so you guys know of the possibilities, but yet I don't want to push it. Hey, Harold, I don't want you to try things. This is not what, I've ever wanted, and again, a lot of people watch TV shows and they go out there and try to do the exact same thing. And we've seen a lot of bad habits come out of TV shows. And that's why I'm saying is I'm going to hold back on a lot of specific information because again, it it's enough to where you get the information and if you really are interested in it, then we can go there. But again, it's not the way I would want to do that. I'm not going to sit there and explain a whole thing from top to bottom and then turn you guys loose and then, well, that's your fault that you did it. And I ain't going to go there. I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping you guys safe even from here. So yes, I'm going to keep certain pieces out for your protection, because obviously if you want to get into it, we can certainly discuss that offline and then possibly in person working, whatever it is. So, hey, Rochelle. Dinah, I know. See, that's why I love it. Everybody hates a Ouija board so badly because the problem is TV, movies, shows, they have completely made it a horrible, horrible thing. And yeah, I mean, but anything can be. What people don't realize is I can go get a napkin and write yes or no on it, and then we could put that napkin down in front of us and then we can ask yes or no questions, and we could do the same thing. We could just take a pen and put it there, you know what I mean? So it a Ouija board is not the bad thing. I have two Ouija boards in my house. Nothing goes on. Nothing happens because it's not the way I set it up to do that. It's not going to happen that way, okay? So it's really such a bad myth of how they twisted it, and it once I got trained in how to use it, I'm just like, what's the big problem? Because again, you got people that don't know how to do it. Now I get the gaming side of it because of how it was originally came about. It was a game. You know that somebody within your circle was going to push the planchette to write words or to say yes and no and things, because that was the point of it. You knew that somebody within your little group, and you got three or four hands on a planchette and going around, you knew somebody was going to be the one horsing around causing it. Obviously it went a step further and people started going, oh well, maybe this will work. So you know it's one of those things. So I knowing how to use it, been using it. I don't use it all the time, but I again you're fine. Just don't use it unless you're with somebody that has used it and it has been trained in it, then you're good to go. So never had a problem. Had some great sessions though. Oh my gosh. I mean, I've had some amazing stuff, real positive things have come through, and it's like, oh, and I mean, and then to have key people within the room listening to what was being spelled out or said or answered, that just helped expand the story in the sense of what's going on, with that particular thing or things around. Oh, I mean, that's what's cool is it really did help. So again, it can be an effective tool used properly. So, um, so I'm just coming back. Let's see. We're not getting any arguments about any type of sporting activities today. Please no. I'm not gonna. I'll start deleting comments if I see anybody arguing. So, uh, uh, okay, sorry. Let's see. Let's see. I don't. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Jen. Like I said, because there's so many different steps that lead up to what I did to then prevent psychic attacks back. That's, I don't want to jump out of order. I mean, I can say exactly what I'm doing now, but then that doesn't make sense to everything that happened, me protecting myself up to that point. And again, it would take too long to dive into it. And even then, you know, I want to hold classes next year or hold a class next year that will teach the basics of protection. That's just one aspect of it. So that's the whole point is, one, I would like you guys to come out to the, to the class, because that would be kind of cool too. But honestly, I mean, but even then, but seriously, the really the point is just the intention. I mean, you have to know that uh you have white light around you, because that's really truly the best thing you can do. You just always imagine that you're on, in the middle of a theater stage, and you have a spotlight that's literally over the top of you. You're the only one illuminated. That's how you can visually see that white light that's all around. Okay. I do tell people that one, because it is the easiest, but it's also one of the greatest. You can close your eyes, and you can be in the middle of the stage, but don't worry, there's nobody around you. It's just you, because you can't even see the seats. But the point is you being in the middle of a room and just having that spotlight on top of you. That's what's cool. And just feel, when you do that and you feel that light over the top of you, feel the warmth that it provides to you. It's comforting. It's your blanket in a way. It's a light, a, a light blanket, but not in the sense that it's doesn't weigh anything. It's the fact that it is, the light is shining upon you and just shielding you. I guess you can even look at it like sort of like a Star Trek or Star Wars thing. You got a force field around yourself, even though you could call yourself a, spaceship, spacecraft, you know, you're the Enterprise, so you got this, shields up thing, sometimes it can be goofy to look at it like that, but at the same time, if it makes you think of, oh man, I got my shields up, that's the good thing, because one, you've changed your energy. Two, when you're like, hey, I need to, I'm going to be in a situation, or I'm around somebody that's, I don't like the way they feel. Just you got, like I said, you don't even have to be a fan of those series and movies, but just being like, shields up, boop, you just got the light over me, and that's all you kind of see. Even when you're looking at them, you got that light hitting you. I'm good. I'm good to go. And no matter what they do or say, it's fine. So let's see. Oh, okay. There you go, Dinah. You got a collection of them. Shannon, I saw yours. I had an Ouija board when I was a child. I'm not afraid of them. I think it depends. Yeah. It does. It really does. Yep. Jen was saying, yeah. I mean, it depends if you're misusing it. Sheer ignorance, absolutely. Um, Shannon, absolutely. To boldly go where no one has gone before. Yep. Light armor, light shield. That's great. Yeah, I mean, you can look at it all different ways. And like I said, you guys know I like to, and if you can't tell, I like to have a little bit of fun. I like to try to make everybody smile a little bit, because we all frown too much as it is, especially, last couple of years. So if I can make you smile even a little bit, even a smirk, I mean, I've done something. Doesn't have to be a good joke, but even the idea of referencing, a TV series or a movie like those two, it. I mean, most people know it, even if you're never a fan of it, you're aware, so, um, but that's how I look at it too, because again, sometimes we need modern, uh, modern visuals, I guess we could put it that way, that help, because looking at the old ways, the ways that, I didn't really have a lot of the modern thoughts when I, got into this. And then I, learned a lot of the old stuff. And then I've kind of progressed into trying to kind of reference things that a lot of people would notice, And so, whatever makes it easier for you is what makes it stronger. And I guess that's kind of an interesting way to put that, because it is, you know, um, because even then, if you're just saying that I'm protected, I mean, it does have some value to it, but to then see like a light over you, even with your eyes open, you can, even that, I just realized I didn't have all my lights on too. Look at that. Interesting. No wonder why I'm all dark. There we go. I didn't have all my lights on. See, I'm in the dark. Interesting. Wow, don't I look better? Not really. That's a joke. Oh man. The perfect timing too. A horrible joke at the end. Oh man. See, I can crack myself up sometimes, and it's a really good thing. Oh man. Hey, Mama D, does it not work? Do you not feel a little great, a little bit better, a little bit fun? So, I, I'm not going to be all serious. I just can't. I mean, I will try, but I'm going to figure out a little crappy joke in there somewhere. Um, oh, look, let me finish up. Um, Jen saying, I will literally say, shields up. I visualize a pillar of light, a source into the earth, and call that Archangel Michael and his legion of angels, Yeshua, Archangel Megatron, and order of I always forget that word. Woo! I can't say it. Yes, you do. And I do know that about Jen. She does a fantastic job. And like when I've been a part of the Hearts of Change collective shows, uh we do this prayer beforehand, and I love that. It does, you can feel it, even Jen does a fantastic job of getting the whole show ready, and the prayers, you cannot help but notice how amazing it is and how it does help us get into the show. uh yeah, that's true, Debbie. You probably wouldn't have seen the feather at that point, so yeah. Oh, okay. Melchizedek. Yeah, there it is. See, Jen would have spelled it out for me too. Thanks, Margaret. Okay, so, and I just was trying to look out the window to make sure it wasn't snowing yet. I do need to go because it is 10:32 now, so I am a couple minutes past, and I do need to go because I really got to get outside before the snow hits because I want to get probably the final leaf raking done. So I want to get that out of the way before the snow hits and covers it all up, and then I can't see nothing. So I am going to get out of here. It was a great show. I mean, it was cool how Frankie and her questions, and Jen, and everybody's had great comments, questions, suggestions. I love that stuff. Again, this is why the point of the show is that we have a lot of back and forth, even if you had to type it out. It's what we want to do. We want to be able to just talk as much as we can, whether it's through our fingers or me blabbing for an hour. So uh thank you guys so much. It is awesome. Uh, Matt, thank you so much. Debbie, have a great time, a great weekend, rest of your weekend. Dinah, oh my gosh, yes. Shannon, thank you. Margaret, um, Frankie, yes, absolutely. So I'm gonna get out of here. We are still on track, for I think we should be good all the way. Yeah, right now we should be good unless something happens. Other than Christmas Day, we should be on track for every Saturday up until Christmas Day because that is a Saturday. So obviously there will be no show that weekend, but we're pretty good. I'm trying to figure if we might get a couple people or one person, or we'll see if we get a couple maybe guests to finish out the year, because then I'm gonna close out season 2, and then we'll start fresh at season 3 in the new year. Hey, Harold, you have a good one. And so, yeah, so we'll just see this. So we'll do this again next week. If by chance, you guys have more questions, or you want to see things that are discussed live on the show, hit me up privately, and I'll definitely put it on in the write up, hey, we're going to talk about this, and if you want me to use your name as a reference, that's awesome too. Or if you just want to be anonymous, that's fine. I'll just say, hey, this was a suggestion. So, again, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. And yeah, let's have a great rest of our weekend. And we're going to get into December next week. So, woohoo. And yeah, all righty. So, thank you so much again. You guys have been watching the Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam with Black Swamp Medium. And as always, all my love, light, and peace to each and every single one of you. Have a great day.